Bote, who is a rotation nurse, reported her injury to the hospital the day after the incident. That's on the 18th, and was further treated. There was no evidence of fracture on her left wrist or dislocation of her right shoulder joint as documented by the medical records. She was, however, had been treated at the time we visited. Had been given some pain relief. He has been recommended for a bed rest and also has received psychological support care. The third objective, the state of security at the hospital at the time of the incident. Honorable Minister, the committee finds out that the security at the emergency department was grossly inadequate at the time of the incident. The hospital security arrangement of one private security personnel per 12-hourly shift at the emergency is inadequate, considering the volume of human traffic at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital emergency. A police post that is found at the premise of the hospital, but situated far away from the emergency, is also of concern. And the system is that anytime they have such altercation, the hospital has to rely on Adabraka Police Command to call for help. And that's exactly what happened in this instance. The last but not the least objective was that the committee also found that the number of staff on duty per shift in the hospital was woefully inadequate. The number of medical officers in the month of August is 1 doctor per shift. That's 3 medical officers per day who are permanently working in emergency, supported by 1 specialist per day. Any other doctors who come there as a team to attend to cases and go away. A total of 7 medical officers and 2 specialists were available on duty for a month of August as emergency room permanent staff. We also found out that, for example, out of 88 nursing staff who routinely work at the emergency department every month, only 54 are currently on duty at posts, with about 34 of them already vacated posts for various reasons. This has brought extreme shortage in the number of nursing staff who also support the emergency medical doctors. Honorable Minister, apart from the 4 main things, there were other findings that we want to bring to your attention. The committee also visited the nurse in question, the rotation nurse, Ms. Chocho Rejoice, who was alleged to have been physically attacked and was receiving care at the hospital. When the committee visited, indeed, we saw the patient in bed. The document available to us from the medical record, as I already said, had no indication of fracture or dislocation of the said staff. And he has received some psychological support as well. The committee was able to chance on the specialist who also attended to her at the ward at the time we visited. And at that time, the staff had been discharged to go home and come for review. We also found that the emergency department of the hospital, Honorable Minister, is an extremely busy place with a lot of human traffic and clients seeking care at the same time. And almost 100% occupancy at all times. It means that every time the beds are almost all full at reach. It also received most of the trauma and acute referrals across the whole region, especially in the nearby areas where they don't have any medical facility, for example, La. And most of this traffic all flow to Reach as a primary source of care during emergency. The last observation was that Mr. Opon, who was alleged to have been knocked down and who was brought into the emergency, and that called for the rest of others coming in, has also been seen, treated and discharged at the hospital. At the time we visited, he was fully conscious. He communicated fluently to us and had no obvious challenge when we went there. However, they have diagnosed him as having a base of skull fracture and yet to come for review on OPD basis to be seen. Honorable Minister, when we met as a committee, we received in-person witnesses. One of the persons we invited is Mr. Ralph St. Williams to come and testify to the committee. He agreed to come, but on the day of our appointment, he called with the lawyer that he would love to make a statement for the committee to use instead of being there personally for his own personal reason. So the committee agreed to receive a statement and evidence from him and his lawyer. Honorable Minister, I must say that I have just a brief summary of what he presented. The exhibit are all attached as a full document for your review and understanding. From his statement copy that is attached to our report, the witness stressed that his distress and frustration was escalated by a nurse who made provocative remarks in the context of emergency, and this triggered his response. He also stated that at no point did he physically assault any medical staff or witness any person from among the bikers assaulting a hospital staff. He also made another assertion that no patient was intentionally filmed or videoed or targeted as his recording, because everything he did was targeted toward the delay, and that he thought the committee and any other person must have that urgent concern to see. And the last submission we've had from his 6-pager report, that he has submitted 4 video exhibits, including a Facebook live video, as evidence to assist the committee, and the committee actually gone through and you have given a report in your recommendation. So, Honorable Minister, permit me to just make 1 or 2 recommendations, and the rest are found in your full report. With respect to Greater Accra Regional Hospital Emergency Department, that is REACH Emergency Department, it's imperative that the following measures must be considered at your Honorable Office to, as a matter of urgency, to forestall any future recurrence. 1, we need to improve, there must be improvement in security presence at the emergency, the ambulance triage area, by adding at least 1 personnel more at the gate and ensuring that the gates at the ED are always manned by security personnel. Additionally, we also propose that the CCTV cameras around is very limited to some of the care areas. And so we propose that if it is not for any privacy, they should add on some more CCTV to give evidence and also ensure that the staff will know that somebody is monitoring them in their work. Also, the police office present at the mortuary area, we propose that at least at the weekends or night duties, the police must be present to support the emergency security, to just back up the 2 private securities they have. Number 2, Honorable Minister, we also recommend that you take immediate steps to support the recruitment of additional clinical staff. For Greater Accra Regional Hospital, we focus on staff who will support emergency care. The next recommendation was that you also address to restore the capacity of Greater Accra Regional Hospital in providing imaging services. For example, X-ray, CT scan, MRI, which are all 40 at the moment. And we believe that that is actually some of the gaps that is perceived to be delaying care at the emergency, even though doctors normally attend to clients on time. But the services for imaging is done outside. And then the 4th recommendation, Honorable Minister, was to appeal to your office to recruit additional administrative managers to serve as client service officers or customer care staff at the emergency department. We find that most of the time people come in there, but the customer care and client services is lacking. So people come in and get stranded, they don't know what to do. Whilst the emergency staff are also busily attending to patients. So we need to beef up the client service aspect of the emergency care. Other recommendations we added on, Honorable Minister, was to build human resource capacity for holistic emergency care in the country. This one goes beyond reach. And then when we are able to build that capacity for emergency care, it will minimize the rushing of people to the regional hospitals and then the pressure we are seeing now. We also recommend that we increase the number of secondary level facilities in every region. For example, Greater Accra may have 3 or 4 in addition to reach. And when these are done, it will also minimize the influx of emergencies all coming to reach, as we have been observing. We also recommend that we put measures in place to enable health facilities to acquire reasonably priced diagnosis or radiological equipment. That's what we call PPP arrangement, to facilitate timely patient care and reduce delays that needs referral to other places to have investigation. The last but not the least, Honorable Minister, the committee recommend that you provide avenue for continuous engagement and sensitization to the public. Many a time, the public doesn't know what the emergency even does or what we do in the hospitals. So when they find themselves in that environment, they most of the time don't understand the dynamics. So we believe that if you have any avenue to educate public on radio, on television, or the ministry, it will be an avenue to allay fears and also educate the public on what the self people do. The last but not the least, we also want to look at the implementing agency, the Ghana Health Service, must immediately effect or support the nationwide emergency care. Their activity of building a customer care must be intensified, and then also ensure that health staffs actually adhere to the protocols of the profession. This will bring back the perceived loss of confidence the community may have in emergency services in the country. In conclusion, Honorable Minister, the above mentioned observations and recommendations may be addressed to prevent any set occurrences, as we have said, in our health facilities, Greater Accra region and Ghana at large. So the committee ended by saying that we support all the few things that we have proposed. There must be a training for security presence at all emergencies. Government or the ministry must address shortages of health staff, re-equipment, retooling of health facilities on diagnostic tools is very critical. And we believe that the committee is so grateful, Honorable Minister, for the opportunity given to us to serve. On that note, we want to say a very big thank you. And I have with me here the 48-pager report, 2 of them, and also a pen drive that has videos and audios and other CCTV images that we receive. And these documents are for your examination and then for as part of the things we have recommended to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good. Yeah, I'm so very grateful to the committee, Dr. Lawrence Ofori Boadu, for the wonderful work you've done so far, especially with this very short notice. You were given 1 week within which to submit your report, and you've done justice to that. We have done this because we assure the good people of this country that when the committee completes its work, we'll make the findings of the committee available to the public. At this point, we have done that, and I can assure the public that we'll see to the full implementation of the recommendations. And I can hear far-reaching recommendations even going beyond Rich Hospital. The next phase of the implementation of the recommendations, for me, is the most important stage. And so I can assure you that not only are we going to see to it that Rich takes back its glory, but we'll make sure that whatever work you have done will also have positive impact on the rest of the health facilities we have in this country. Most of the recommendations you have mentioned, as I've heard, I am now going to take my time. We'll have a committee in place, and then we'll digest it one after the other and see to the full implementation. But at a glance and on hearing you, most of them we have already started working on it, and people who have monitored the media space will attest to the fact that I've on several occasions mentioned PPP, retooling of our health facilities, and all that. So it fits well into government priority areas, and that we'll continue to do whatever it takes to improve upon the health sector of this country. And I'm very sure that we may not be able to make it perfect, but we'll improve upon it. And we are not going to put this report or recommendations on the shelves. Immediately, we are going to start implementing them. I thank you for the opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure you have any questions to ask. I'm sure this is straightforward.
Thank
you very much. I'm sure you were in church on Sunday.
No, just one.
Please go ahead.
So with the observation, Dr. Kalibu made mention that you found out that there was no delay at the place. However, the one who was seen in the viral video is saying that there was a delay, and that was why he acted that way. I want to find out, is there going to be any arrests?
No,
Or is he going to...
please, this is a fact-finding committee. They are not to prosecute, they are not to judge. They have presented their report. It's a fact-finding report that anybody can make good use of their report. And so, with the greatest of respect, let us not go into the criminal issue of the matter. That was not within their jurisdiction.
This was directed to the ministry, but I get it.
Yes. So please, I beg you, before we veer into any other determination. Yes.
Okay, please, let's take Sarah.
Okay, since this is a document and the case is also pending in court, is it possible that it could be tendered in as evidence?
As and when they request for it.
Okay.
If nobody requests, it's our property. We cannot rush to the court and say that we have brought you evidence. If the court requests for it, who are we to refuse the court? So please.
So, City?
Yes, thank you, Honorable Minister. Some of the recommendations sounded quite present in terms of beefing up security and emergency centers and all. I'm going to give a time frame that probably the next week or two.
As for time frame of starting work on it, I can give you. But as to the completion of when that will be finally completed, that will be another thing. As for especially the emergency issue about security, I can assure you today is what? Wednesday. By Monday. I mean, from here, I'm just going to give instructions for some of these things to be. In fact, the truth of the matter is that the very day we visited the hospital, which of course I was accused of greeting somebody, that very day I gave that instruction that they should look at the internal security. And I had the opportunity to also speak to the police. So some of these things have already started and they are in motion. Yeah. So I just want to give the public that confidence, that impression that, even if a committee is established, that's all. Only the announcement of the committee is what we hear. We don't hear the findings. Nothing happens to it. That's not going to be business as usual. In fact, I will also challenge you that whatever recommendation that has come, you also follow up to see that whether or not it's been implemented. I will challenge you to also do that.
Honorable, talking about challenging us to follow up, will you make some sections of the documents available to the
as and when necessary? As and when necessary.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are grateful. Please carry the news out. Thank you.
So this has absolutely nothing to do with the criminal issue or the case in court. And we never try to comment on any case in court or any criminal proceedings. This has no bearing, absolutely nothing. This is to guide us as a ministry. So the most important thing is to help us to improve upon the system. That is the most important thing. Yes. Again, Sarah wants me to comment. Sarah.
So that was the health minister receiving a report that was put together by his ministry to look into an incident that happened at the Ridge Hospital about 2 weeks ago. He has promised to ensure that the immediate recommendations in that report are implemented immediately. But he cannot give a timeline as to when all the 4 recommendations that was presented by the committee will be implemented, but he's going to make sure that the ones that can be done in the interim are done. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Channel One TV. I'm Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Good afternoon.